is placer. The information isn't even fully accurate. It's just to have a presence on the web. There are a lot of blogs and stuff just to kind of keep the content going, but overall, it's what you would call just a placeholder. That's not really good for building a company. And one of the best things you can do is have a high quality website that's very, very rich when it comes to content, unique content. Google likes unique content. Their spiders, their crawlers, whatever you want to call them, will categorize and prioritize your website based on a number of factors. But one of them is, how good is your website? How many pages is it? How unique is the actual content? How relevant is the content to what you're actually building, what you're selling? How are your headers? How's your anchor text? All these types of things. And it gets so complicated that sometimes people just go, it sounds so complicated that sometimes people just go, you know what, I'm just going to spend thousands of dollars. And there are some web companies out there that will charge you 30 to 70 grand to build a feature-rich website. That is expensive and ridiculous. So I'm here to walk you through how to do it really for, I think we did it for a couple $100, probably $400 total. And the reason that it actually cost that much is we did it in WebFlow. I needed teams because there's a few things that I need from outside collaborators in order to do this right. And I'll walk you through that. So the first thing you should do is figure out basically what format you want. So assuming you use WebFlow, I highly recommend it. Teams, which means you can add other people to collaborate with. It's about $45 a month. And that includes, the hosting and a certain number of hits and stuff like that. So not overly expensive, not super cheap. There's cheaper out there, but it's a really nice feature-rich product. So once you've kind of picked whichever way you're going to go, you want to find a template. And what I mean by a template is find a website that you really like, that you think navigates very, very cleanly, and then have somebody replicate for it. So they can pull that exact website down and then use that as a template. So it'll save you a ton of time on development. Take something you like, replicate it, and then you're going to take all their content, all their images, all their colors, everything is going to be stripped away from there. So it's all going to be unique. But at least when I say the format and the template, I'm talking about the navigation. Do you like how it navigates on the top? Do you like your headers? Do you like the drop downs? Do you like how it moves through? Do you like the flow of the site? Do you like some of the movement of the site? If you do, pick one out, have it replicated. The replication cost me about $150 to replicate a site. Our site has 51 pages. So 51 pages is a lot. So typically this is also where somebody goes, you know what, I don't write content. I don't want to do this 51 pages. Let me just hire somebody to do it for me. Now you can do that, but it's very expensive. A lot of entrepreneurs don't have that money, and nobody knows the product or the content or where you're going with the company as well as you. If you know a master at writing web content that will do it for a reasonable price, it might be worth every penny. However, there's very few of those people out there. Most of them, the entrepreneur is going to be better. It's like doing a book on tape. The entrepreneur knows the actual technology. They're going to be better at it. If the person who wrote the book knows the actual book, they're usually going to be better at reading it unless you get some master. Of course, there's levels to things. So then, so you've got your website. We've got 51 pages. That's a lot to tackle because each page is going to be very rich, very vertical, different verticals, different features, etc. Don't set out to do it in one sitting or even try or do it in a burnout way. Just don't. Your content will start to run together. You're going to end up with crappy content. It's not going to be unique because you're going to kind of repeating yourself over and over again. So I set out to do one page per day. And on certain days I did two. I'd get up in the morning, I'd do one. Then later in the afternoon, I'd do another. But my goal was one per day. And the reason I did it one per day is I wanted all of the actual language to be fresh every single day. I didn't want to use the same language over and over. I wanted to be able to have each page with unique content said in a unique way that was absolutely geared towards the niche, vertical, or what I'm trying to express on that page. Now, there's another thing. So, 51 days, again, you're talking about under 2 months to be able to have a really, really nice website, feature rich, in terms of content. That's really, really good. So just be patient with it. Don't try to rush out a piece of garbage. Do everything right. And hopefully you have a separate team doing your programming, or else this is going to be probably too much for you. So the other thing is, obviously you've picked your colors, you have your logo, all that stuff's easy to upload and replicate. But once you have your content moving and you've kind of started to hit a nice flow for it, a lot of people will also be very worried about the anchor text. The anchor text is how Google will pull in certain terms for your search ranking. I don't obsess over it. Typically, if I do have a question on something where I'm like, this is a header, should I go with this header or that header? I'll go into Google myself, type in header 1, type in header 2, see which one comes up, see which one comes up first. The one that comes up first is the one that's more often searched. The reason you go for the one that's more often searched is because you end up getting more organic traffic. And that's the real goal for doing this all the unique content, is so you get organic traffic. Organic traffic means you don't have to pay for it. So you're not doing pay-per-click. People are finding you through the web. And if you do it right, you'll get a ton of organic traffic and you don't have to pay a lot of money for it. So the other piece, so now we have 51 unique pages, all that address, features, pricing, terms and conditions, your different niches, your different verticals, your blog, about us, all that type of stuff. Once it's all done, at that point, I actually send over to designers and I say, look, here's your template. I replicated it too, in case they screw it up, something like that, because you can replicate real quick. And that way you've got your original always. They get to work on the one that's malleable. I said, listen, this is what I want. I want everything here, this stuff changed, meaning all of these images must go. Replace them with stuff that's pertinent for the company, and kind of add a nice bit of consistency. But I call it, I've already marinated the steak. I've already laid down the actual beef. Everything's in place. The potatoes are there. Now I need somebody who can come on and add some sizzle and some spice to this thing. Because that's what's going to be, sexy about the site. You want the site to be fun, interactive, and a place that people actually enjoy navigating, because people do have a relationship with your product and with your image, and you want it to match your vision for your company. So right now, that's where it is. Once I actually got it over to the designer side, I was able to re-put up the blog. We have 356 blogs right now. So I've been doing a couple blogs a day, just keeping that content pumping. And then eventually I'll add in, there's a Google index code. Once you add in that Google index code, Google will know to grab that code. It's like a piece of code that brings in the spider to crawl it. It'll index all your site, re-push it out. Right now it's already indexed to the placeholder site. I'll re-index it to the new site, and all that content will be out. And we should at that point get a lot of traffic. But before I actually do that, I want to make sure the site's up, sexy, done right. I haven't misspelled anything. I'm not embarrassing the organization. And we got to have our funnels in place. So you have to have your funnels, because if people do say click free, start free trial, or they get excited about what they see and they want to go to the next step, you have to be able to grab that content, their information, their name, their email address, etc., bring it in, store it, and have a means to follow up on that. Because at some point, when you launch, you're going to want a lot of leads to be able to hit the ground running quickly, grow your company quickly, and do it in a way where people are happy with what you've built and you haven't rolled out some lackluster thing. So once the site is done, I will, from the designer, I'll put that crawler in. I'll make sure that the funnel is working like a charm. It'll go live and the leads will start coming in. And at that point, it'll be time to start following up, building follow-up systems, of course, enhancing different parts of the site, maybe do a nice explainer video to add to the site before it goes live. So, and I'll get into that too. Those are the little cartoon videos that are cute. So we'll go through that, because I've done about 80 of these explainer videos. The first one I did was terrible. The last ones I was just knocking them out. You can get better at it. So we'll walk through how to do that together as well. Just want to let you guys know I'm back now. Now that we have the website, I can do these things, pump them out, share them through everything. But there was really no point until I had some of the blog stuff and other stuff fixed. So I'll be back on doing these twice a day, once or twice a day. If anybody needs any help, say the word. If you have questions, say the word. Otherwise, God bless everybody, and I'll see you soon.